So we're live. Now we're live. Let me see. I don't know why this one is saying. Um, my Facebook is not. Let's add it again, and we should be good to go. Save changes. All right, and we are live. Hello, everyone. This is the voice and the face of Dr. Tolu Olabinto. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Living Spring Family Medical Center here in the beautiful city of Mansfield, Texas, where we help our patients live long and well. And I'm really, really excited to be doing another Facebook Live today. If you're watching live, hashtag live. If you're watching replay, hashtag replay. If you know someone who should be watching this, because we're talking about goal setting and how to make it work, please share this with them. It promises to be a very eventful and useful session. Now, that being said, I am excited to have on as guest someone known as Coach Triple A, but I know him as Alex Adefemi, the friend. We actually went to school together in high school, and I'm so honored to have you here to talk with us on this topic. You know, I've watched your shows. I see your podcast. I see your posts on Instagram. I like what you do. You're such a powerful influencer. So I'm glad to have you on. Thank you
Thank
for
you
coming.
very much. Thank you very much, Dr. Tolu. Thank you very much. You know what just flashed my mind was high school days. And I'm thinking to myself, did we ever think that we will be doing this here right now back in those days? I mean,
Right,
did I ever
right.
even occur to our minds? It's amazing how the trajectory of life and how life just evolves and things just happen and you make progress and you get to where you are today. And I'm grateful to God that we are in a great place and where we can celebrate and we can celebrate each other and we're doing amazing things in the world and
That's
making
true.
impact in different parts of the world. So thank you so much, Dr. Tulu, for being you, for being so amazing. And thank you so much as well for having me on your platform. Hi, everyone. How you doing? It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you so much.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Thanks again. And just as a heads up, we'll be doing this again. Okay. I already know this is going to be good, so we'll be doing this again. But that being said, Alex, can you please introduce yourself? Who are you? What do you do? What do you do?
Okay, so my name is Alex Adefemi. They call me Triple A. Some call me Coach Triple A. And my work basically is I work as, I am a peak performance leadership and business coach. Now, I most times work with high level leaders, executive and business leaders, helping them achieve peak performance at their work, in their business, as well as their personal lives. So in a nutshell, that's the work I've been doing. I've been doing this now for about 20 something years. And then it's been my own purpose in life. It's my assignment in life, and I find a lot of fulfillment from the work I do, and it's so exciting to be here with you.
So you talked about, going back to high school, like, seeing ourselves doing some of the things we're
Yeah.
doing now. Why do you do what you do? What led you down this path or off
Wow.
this path?
Interesting story. You know, it's interesting why when you said going back to high school, because it was like in high school that it started. It started in high school.
Wow.
What had happened was I was a serial failure in high school. I had repeated my
Wow.
one class twice, meaning that I was in the same year for 3 years instead of one. And if you remember, I told you you guys had gone ahead of me and then gone and finished high school 2 years ahead of me, even despite we were the same class, we're the same set, and we're come all the way together. Now, that failure that I was dealing with at the time devastated me. It was traumatizing. It brought me, and as a teenage boy at the time, it tore me down. I saw myself as a complete failure. You know, there was a poem that was being I had read somehow, come across that poem. That there's a saying that a fool at 40 is a fool forever.
Forever.
But then there
Mm.
was a poem I saw that said, "It is no more a fool at 40; it is a fool at 14." And guess what? How old was I when I read that poem? I was 14 and I was dealing with failure.
Wow.
So I instantly just believed that I was a failure in life. I was a fool. I was not going to make it. It didn't look like anything was going to happen for me. But this interesting part was I was brilliant. Something that just happened, and I got distracted, and I got distracted from my schoolwork, and somehow I just started dealing with failure at school. And luckily for me, after about repeating the same class twice,
Mm.
um, I then came up with this epiphany moment, and I said, you know what? Let me move from back in those days. Tolu, you remember we have majors in high school. So
Right.
when you get to senior high school, like we call it, you have majors back in Nigeria. In case you were wondering, this is in Nigeria. Now, we had majors. So there was science majors, there was commercial majors,
Commercial,
and then there was
art,
art majors.
art.
So I shifted from science majors, where you and I were, and then I moved to the art major. And guess what happened? I blossomed like a fish in water.
Wow.
I just excelled. I literally forgot how brilliant and intelligent I was. I just excelled. Now, I think it was then I didn't realize that normally when I face challenges and situations like that, I easily just distract myself. So because I wasn't enjoying what I was doing in the science majors, I distracted myself. And then it was when I found what I enjoyed and I just fell absolutely in love with school all over again and I excelled. And so a question popped in my head. Why am I excelling now? Because I realized that I was now in my place of natural excellence, in my place where I had the natural skills and I enjoyed what I was doing. I was passionate about the classes. I was passionate about the subjects that I was taking. I was one of the best students in class. I was raising my hands and answering questions. Teachers knew my name. They were calling me and telling me, oh, you are the best student in my class, and all that good stuff. And it was then I found the formula. Now, the first thing to succeed, you must find something that you are absolutely passionate about, find what your purpose is, and find what you love. Love what you do and do what you love. And
Love
that
what you
was the
do and
beginning
do what you
of
love.
my excellence and success in life. Love what you do and do what you love.
Love what you do and do what you love. Sounds
So,
very simple,
yeah, it
almost too
is.
simple, but it is
It
true.
is. It is, but it's very powerful because what you find yourself, it's like the saying that you cannot judge a fish on its ability to climb a tree.
Fair.
So that's the idea. When you take a fish and put it on a tree, you would say the fish is useless. So a classic example I always give is, say, LeBron James. LeBron James is one of the best basketballers in King James, one of the best basketballers on the planet. Now, take LeBron and put him on a soccer pitch. He's going to look like he's the biggest fool on the planet. Why? Because that's not what he's naturally good at. So you cannot judge LeBron James' excellence and performance based on his ability to play soccer. Put him on a basketball court, and then you will see a god in action. Literally, the man is a god on the court. So that's just the idea. When you are in the wrong areas of your life, you will struggle. And when you struggle, you will look like a fool. And so that became what then began to drive me. And if I could do it for myself, how can I do it for others? So
Others.
I began to have this drive that says, so how can I help others begin to excel? How can I help you achieve your potential, identify your potential, achieve your potential, and explore your possibilities? And that began to bring the light into my eyes. And the more I started helping others, the more fulfillment I started getting. And then the rest is
The
history.
rest is
I
history.
found I found my calling and I pursued it without looking back anymore.
I love it. And I'm happy that you didn't allow the setback to block your horizon. I'm happy that you didn't accept that as a finality,
Yeah.
the failure, but instead you found where you belong and you thrive. So awesome, awesome. Now that segues to my first question. Um, and I think you already talked about it a little bit, but what are some common reasons why people struggle to achieve their goals? We're talking about goal setting, maybe
Yeah.
financial goals,
Yeah.
physical goal, health goals, whatever it may be. Why do you think, what are common, I guess maybe the top 2 or 3 reasons why people struggle to achieve their goals?
I think I would say that some of the reasons why people struggle to achieve their goals is, first of all, their goals lack what I call congruence. Your goals lack congruence. There's no alignment in your goals. What do I mean? Now, for there to be alignment to your goals, there's something I call the triangle of power. The triangle of power. If you're listening, guys, I want you to pay attention to this. You see, at the top of the triangle is your goals. On the left hand side of that triangle, at the bottom, is your values, and on the right hand side at the bottom is your beliefs. Now, if there is no alignment between your goals, your values, and your beliefs, you would have conflict within you, and then you will not have the energy and the power you need to achieve and pursue and achieve the goal. So there needs to be alignment between your goals, your values, and your beliefs. So how does that work? So what are your values? I'll give you a classic example. I say, take for instance, your goal is to buy a Ferrari, right? You love Ferraris, or maybe it's a Porsche, whichever one you want to buy. You just want to buy this fast-paced sports car that is just, you love the way he revs and the way he moves, and you say, I want to get myself that. But then again, in your value system as an individual, you have a value for modesty.
Mm, mm,
You have a value system of modesty. You hold modesty very true and dear. Now, you have a goal to drive a Ferrari, but because you have a value for modesty, and if you know anything about a Ferrari, modesty has
it's not.
nothing in the name of a Ferrari. There's nothing modest about the thing. So there will be a conflict in your heart somewhere. It's subconscious. You might not even know. But there will be a conflict in you somewhere that's saying, nah, we're not going to go for that. That is not a
Mm,
modest thing to desire. So, or better still, it could be in your beliefs. Maybe in your beliefs, you believe that people of your age, maybe you're just about 25, and you believe that people having such expensive cars, you should still work and save your money. And that's how you have been raised as a child. Maybe because of your friends who are driving Ferraris and they're pursuing Ferraris, you decide to set that goal for yourself as well. So
mm.
it could be peer pressure that drove you to set that goal, but your belief system and your value system does not support that goal. So what then do you do? You either change the goal or change your values or change your beliefs. But you cannot have a contrary value or contrary beliefs to your goal and then be able to achieve it. So that's one of the major things you must bear in mind that holds people back from achieving their goals. It's very, very key. They also must realize that goal setting is psychological. 80% of all human success is psychological. 80% of all human failure is psychological. 80%. So once you know that it's psychological, you then realize that your mind
Mm.
is the beginning and the end of any success or the failure that you go through. Your mind is pivotal to how you succeed, to whether you succeed or not. So you must also have the right mindset. And remember, I talked about beliefs and values. Boils down to the same thing. You need the right mindset to be able to help you achieve those goals, pursue those goals and achieve those goals and keep making progress. So your mind is very key, and your mind holds you back from that. From one of the major reasons that I have seen that stops people from achieving their goals.
I love this. And of course, as a physician, my biggest angst is health, right? And this
Mm,
health, mindset is very, very important, paramount to your health as well.
yes.
But you talked about goals, beliefs, and values. So belief systems when it comes to health. Oh, I'm not, I have, clients who say, I'm not a veggie kind of guy. I don't do veggies. That's bird food. That's the belief system that fruits and
Mm,
veggies it's miserable. It tastes nasty.
exactly.
It's not
Exactly.
edible, or exercise will make you more tired or make you feel more pain. So those are belief systems, and sometimes it's not something people are brought up as a value system. Like
Yes.
your healthcare, it's not something people didn't go for checkups. That was not a priority, and so it's carried on. Really, really powerful nuggets. And you mentioned the mindset piece. My goodness.
Another
Sh
point when it comes to health, a lot of people will tell you that they're trying to lose weight. They're trying to
right.
lose weight and be fit, but yet they believe in their system, that in their minds, that they have big, large bones. I hear that a lot as well. I have big bones. That's why I'm weighing a lot. Maybe you might have. I don't know. Dr. Tolu might say that I'm not an expert when it comes to those kind of things, but trust me, you are likely dealing with excuses, and you cannot have excuses and have results in the same conversation. No. So you either pick one. You either have excuses or you have results, but you can have both.
But let's talk about the discomfort, because already, in your conversation, you're talking about your values, beliefs,
Mm.
and the mindset that needs to change. It sounds like a lot of work. So that I sense some resistance. So what are your biggest tips for someone who's saying, you know what? All right, fine. I agree. I need to work on my value system. I need to know, check out my belief system and actually set goals. Where do you say people start from? Let's say when it comes to their health, of course. I have a health goal. How do you go about picking a health goal?
So you then, most of the times now, when it comes to goal setting, and I've been doing this now for about 20 years and doing goal setting, help people, top leaders set goals and achieve their goals. One of the things I always do is I believe that you must start from the end and work your way back to the beginning.
Okay.
Start from the end, work your way back to the beginning. So before you set any goal, I would like you to rather have a vision for yourself. What's the ultimate picture of your life? So this is one thing I always do. I always say I do what I call the 50-year challenge. I want you to go forward in 50 years. Now it depends on your age. So if you are in your 40s and your 50s, you might still want to do a 50-year challenge. But or better still, you might want to do a 30-year challenge. But the point is, by the time you get to about the age where you feel that life is round enough for you, I want you to go straight there. Like I want you to visualize yourself there. And I want you to write the life that you lived. I want you to go on a journey to your future. And then I want you to write me a story of what kind of life you lived. So when it comes to your health, what kind of health did you have when you had hit 90 and you are rounding off? And you know that maybe at this any time from here, you're like, deuces, guys, I'm done. I'm gone. I'm out of here. I'll see you around, see you in heaven, whatever, and then see you guys around, man. I'm off. So at any time you probably will take off. So I want you to write a story and tell yourself you just woke up on your 90th birthday,
Yep.
and then you're looking back and you're saying, okay, this is how I have handled my health. Now, based on this is the kind of health I have lived. I'm not saying this is the kind of health you want to live. Remember, you are already 90. You are looking back now. So you're looking back and you're telling yourself, this is how my health was. Now, to gain that kind of health, whatever the kind of health you wrote for yourself or you saw for yourself at 90, I want you to now go back and take it back to 10 years from now. What kind of health do you have? 5 years from now, what kind of health do you have? 3 years from now, what kind of health do you have? 1 year from now, what kind of health do you have? So I want you to go all the way, set a vision, and work your way back. I will go a little bit scriptural on this, religious on this, because I'm I, I love the things I understand. I've been able to read the Bible. I understand a lot of things from the Bible, and permit me to use some Bible
Oh, yes,
experience
please.
examples. So it is my belief that God, when He made everything, He said it was good. So He saw that everything He made, God. In fact, no. Let me put it this way: God, most of the times, when He does, and before He does anything, He has gone to the end. He has finished the job in the end, and then He works His way back and starts it with you from where you are. So this is your way of, partnering with God on your achievements in life. Go all the way to the end and plan it and see what you want for yourself. Write it down and then work your way back to now. So now that's about the vision. Now it comes to your goals. So when you come to this year, what do you think, going by what you saw of yourself, and be realistic?
Mm,
What
mm.
about what you saw of yourself in 90? What are the things that, based on that guy or that lady you saw at 90, what do you think were the things that you needed to have done to be able to, on your own part? And the truth about health is this: nobody knows anything about health. You don't have control over life. God is the ultimate. He has all control over life, right? So you can only do your part
Your
and
part.
make sure that you do your part in staying healthy and living healthy and being well. And then trust the rest to God to give you long life and good health. So as far as your part is concerned, if it was left to your part alone, this is what I did, this is how I lived my life, and then what must you do this year to start that journey all the way to 90 years old? Does
I
that make
love
sense?
it. I love it. I have, conversations with my 90-year-old self. Where would I
Fantastic.
be? What would I be doing? What would I be able to do? Would I be able to sit down and or have conversations with my great grandkids or You know,
Yes.
would I be able to take walks and still live independently? So
Yes.
those are so that what he's saying is, for those of you who are watching, is very, very powerful. Even if
Mm,
it's 5 years from now, if 90 seems so far away, maybe 10
mm,
years from now, what are things you want to be doing when it comes to your health? What is like, how much energy do you want to have? What are things you want to be able to do? Where do you want to be? Where do you want to travel? Your financial goals, your family goals, your relational goals, and what should you be doing now so that future self can exist? So very, very powerful, very, very powerful. So my next, oh my gosh, we're running on time. My next question is this. Let's talk about SMART goals. That word is
mm,
thrown out a lot. Real
mm.
quickly, and I want you to break it down.
Yeah.
SMART goals. So for, let's say, all the areas of health, of course, I'm biased towards health. So SMART goals, how do we pick SMART goals? So we set
Yes.
ourselves up for success.
So for smart goals, this is how I suggest it. So smart goals is simple. It's, and bear with me just a moment, please. There we go. Now, smart goals is simple. It's specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-bound goals. So you want your goal to be specific, meaning that you want to be exact on what it is. So you're talking numbers. Numbers is one of the best ways to measure a thing. So you want to measure, you want to be able to have a specific thing that you achieve. So as far as health is concerned, you want to set a health goal. Say, take for instance, fitness goal. What exact kg
Mm.
are you trying to achieve? So you want to maybe move down, or you want to lose 10 kg, or you want to lose 15 kg this year. So you are specific about the kg, that's specificity. And then measurable, meaning that it's something that you can measure. It's something that you can say, this is where I was, this is where I am now. That's what measurable is. Achievable means it's something that you can achieve, that if you put your efforts into it, you know it's something that you can achieve. It's something that's not out of your, it's not out of your control. It's within your control. Then realistic, meaning it's something that is not fantasy. It is something that's realistic, that makes sense, right? You're not telling yourself, oh, I want to say, I all of a sudden I want to be as, I don't know, something. When it comes to health, what's the most unrealistic goal you probably can set for yourself?
I want to
And
run a marathon tomorrow, but you don't exercise
oh,
at
okay,
all.
yeah. So I want to run a marathon in 1 week. You probably cannot run a marathon. Although there's a story of someone who did something similar. As far as running is concerned, we'll come to that story later. Now then, time bound, and then so you wanted to put a time frame to it. There has to be a time frame by so date. You don't just say, oh, by December. Remember, we talked about specificity. So you have to be specific in everything, in your measurableness, in your available achievableness, if there's any word like that, in your realisticness, right? And you want to be specific. So in your time bound, in your time frame, you want to be specific. You want to say 31st of December 2024. That is specific about time. So you want to put a specific day to it. And that's very, very important.
Awesome, awesome. Now for time, because we're running, like I said, we're going to do this. We're going to do a part two to this. But can you share examples of individuals who overcame obstacles to achieve their goals? And I want us to share this because sometimes it seems that goals, big goals, are for a certain caliber of people with
Mm,
certain advantages, people
mm,
who were born with a silver spoon in their mouth.
mm.
So could you give examples of people who have overcome? I mean, you shared your story that was powerful, but are there
Yeah,
any other ones you want to
I
share?
was actually going to say me. I
Yes, that's a powerful
was going
story.
to say me. Another one I would say is Dr. Tolu Olabinton. He's another person who has achieved, who's broken through obstacles, left Nigeria at a very young age, as probably still a teenager, and came all the
Yep.
way here and set up a medical practice, and she's doing great work. That's another story you want to hear, and I'm just saying that because it's the truth. However, I would also add. I would put it this way. I might not give you. I have famous people in my head. You have some. You probably know about Thomas Edison
Google, yeah.
and creating a
Mhm.
light bulb, and how he failed 9,999 times. And then when he was being asked, he said, "I didn't fail 999 times. I only found 999 ways in which it would
How
not
not
work."
to do it. Yeah.
Okay, so you then realize that failure is not failure. Failure is actually feedback. So that mindset helps you
Mhm.
keep going. Anyway, there's also another American icon will be Abraham Lincoln, who literally failed at every election at different stages till he ran for presidency and he won. Another good example is Oprah Winfrey. Oprah Winfrey had a baby at age 14, from the reports, had a baby at age 14, and then the baby died. And she literally didn't see herself as someone that could achieve anything. She got into the media, she read the news, and she was crying while reading the news because it was heartbreaking for her. And then people thought, nah, you're not going to make it in television. And then the rest is history today. She's probably the biggest name in television in the world. Another story I will share with you quickly is I remember the story of my mother. And I remember something my mother did that blew my mind as a teenager. There was a problem with our car and we had to change the whole engine of the car. And then, but my parents couldn't afford the whole money to buy a whole new engine. So my mother came up with this brilliant idea. And then she told, and this thing I found in later, it was a principle of success that I use. Now, so she told the mechanic and said, is it possible for us to be buying the parts in bits and pieces? And then the mechanic said it was possible. So she would call him whenever she had money monthly for about 6 months. And then she would give him money and say, how much can this buy? And the guy had written a list and price list of things that will make up an engine. And they were doing that for about 6 months. I came back from school one day and found the guy literally lowering the engine. He had coupled it and lowered the engine into the car. And my mother orchestrated the strategy of actually putting a whole engine in a car by buying it bit by bit. And that, she never said any word to me, but that taught me a huge lesson in life. And there's something about the strategy of achieving your goals called chunking, why you can take your goals and break them into bits because they are too big for you to do at once. So it's like taking a loaf of bread and trying to swallow a loaf of bread all at once. You will choke. But if you tear the bread in bits, you will enjoy the bread and you will actually be able to swallow it into bite-sized chunks, and you'll be able to swallow it. The same thing to your goals. You want to break your goals down into bits and swallow them little by little. And that was another thing that, it's not a story of a person, but it's an example I saw of achieving goals that got stuck in my brain. And then later I found out when I got into psychology and neuroscience that is actually a strategy called chunking in goal setting that helps you achieve your goals. So you break it down into bits.
Break into little bits. He used bread. I'd use an apple.
Oh, fantastic. Oh, well, I got what you did there. I got what you did there.
I
I
use
got
an
what you did
apple.
there.
Oh my
I got
God.
what you did there. Oh my,
This
oh
has
my.
been
That's
good.
so awesome. I saw what you did there.
This has been really good. We're essentially out of time.
Wow.
But I know we only scratched the surface, but I really, I'm hoping that people go rewatch this, re-listen to this. They're simple but yet very powerful principles.
Yeah.
You have a goal, it seems overwhelming, break it down to little beats and take a stab at it. And be encouraged. Watch this again to stay encouraged to keep living out your dreams, living out your goals to improve your quality and quantity of life. So when you look at your future self, or your future self looks at you now, it will say thank you. Triple A, this was awesome. Coach Triple A said this was awesome. So
Thank you so much.
any last minute words? People are like, wait, I like this guy. I want to follow him. I want to listen to his content. I want to
Yeah.
have him as a positive peer pressure, someone I can listen to maybe
Yeah.
once a week to be encouraged.
Yeah.
Alex, where can people find you?
So you can find me on Instagram. I'm on Instagram at Coach Triple A. That's Coach Triple A, triple with a single P. Coach Triple A on Instagram, on LinkedIn. On LinkedIn it's Alex Adefemi, and then on Facebook it's at Coach Triple A, and on X is at Coach Triple A. Even on TikTok it's at Coach Triple A, and you can find me in any of those. And if I may give a last thought before I go, I will just culminate everything I've said into these things. I said number one thing is your mindset is key. Your mind is the starting point of anything that you achieve. So you need to guard your mind with all diligence and make sure that you are only pursuing positivity to achieve your goals. That's one. Secondly, is that you need to have clarity of what goals that you want to achieve. Be clear.
Mm,
We talked about
mm,
specificity in your SMART goals. Be specific, but be clear exactly what it is that you want to achieve. And then thirdly, I would say, still in this in the mindset thing, I would say that know your why. Why do you want to achieve this goal? What is pushing you? What is your driving force? I call it, what is your compelling reason for achieving this goal? What is that reason that compels you beyond any obstacle that you will achieve that goal? Take, for instance, if I asked you to run fast now, you might be wondering, oh, Triple A, why am I running fast? But if I told you there was a lion behind you that is chasing you, I don't think I need to tell you that you need to run, right? So that's a compelling reason. What is your compelling reason? What is driving you? It doesn't have to be fear, but you must find something. It could be the birth of your child, and you want to make
mm.
sure that your child succeeds, and then you want to give your child all the best. I think I'll leave it at that. My time is up.
Powerful. Right mindset, be clear, know your why. Thank you so much, Coach Triple, for coming. We're going to
Thank you
do
for
this
having me.
again. This
Thank
has
you for
been
having
very,
me.
very, very
Thank you.
instrumental. Thank you all for watching. I know it's 7 o'clock for past time, but please share. Caring is sharing. And as always, like, subscribe, follow us so you can get more information on how to empower yourself, your community, and those you love to help you live a life that's improved quality and quantity. I'm very passionate about this as is Coach Triple A. So
Yes.
please share this with those who could find this useful. And always, as is always, if you're looking for an awesome, a thorough, and compassionate family physician in the Mansfield, Texas area to take care of you and those you care about, let them know about me. I am she. Have a good one, everyone.
You
Thank you so
see.
much.
All
Thank you so much. I'll talk to you later, okay?
right.
This was
Bye.
good. Bye, everyone.